What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. So we're gonna finally do the last test of the Arc Ultra with the whole setup. That is the Arc Ultra Era 300s with 2 subs versus the OG Arc, the original Arc with Era 300s and 2 subs. And we're gonna see how much of a difference there is between these two when you have the whole setup connected versus when we did the last test with just the soundbar versus soundbar. So as you can see in the screen next to me, we got the Arc Era 300s and 2 subs connected, and the EQ is gonna be what we always use. We're gonna do it like this. We're gonna push the treble up a little bit and push the bass down a little bit because we have the subs, so we can have a little bit clearer sound when it comes to speeches and dialogues. But we're not gonna do the same test. We're just gonna do a scene pretty much with both of an action and, or you know what, let's do the same scene. Let's do the same test that we did last time. So we're gonna do a little bit of speech dialogues and see how much of a difference there is when you have the whole setup connected versus just the soundbar itself. And then we're gonna do the same test with the action scene. And so yeah, pretty much the same test that we did last time. So we're gonna see how much of a difference that is between these two soundbars with that. Surround sound, we're gonna push it up to +7, the same with music level. Not that it matters with this test, but we got the sub audio. It is at 0 because I have disconnected everything and I had to connect everything to my new Wi-Fi system. So it's gonna be pretty better, and I have nothing's gonna be connected through wires. So this new whole Wi-Fi setup that I have hopefully is gonna be a lot better. But we got +2 on sub, and then we got high channel is gonna be on 7 as well. So speech enhancement on, and that's gonna be it. So the first test is speeches and dialogues. Let's see how much of a difference that will make for the old Arc, and then we're gonna do an action scene, or we're gonna do the same test with the Arc Ultra, and then we're gonna do action scene with these two. So let's go.
Hear me, Zoran, for fate has brought us together again. Some call me Stonebringer, Shield Maiden, the Valkyrie of the Northern Seas. My name is Ursa, daughter of Einar.
Who?
Ursa, daughter of...
You look like a Viking washerwoman. These floors could use a scrubbing.
Silence! My father, Einar, was the Earl of Ladoga.
I remember now. Einar and you. Oh, you were a lovely little one. It appears your cowardice has ruined your looks.
You are the coward!
You killed your own father. Any decent Greenwich child would have fought me even if it meant death. You were so afraid. You still are. Fear is etched on your face. Your father must have been ashamed to have such a weak and disgusting daughter.
And that was the OG ARC with Era 300s and 2 Sonos Sub Gen 3s. Man, if I was gonna use the same setup, I would change the surround speakers for my Sonos 5s instead of the Sonos Era 300s, because I think with an action movie, especially with that action movie, I think the Sonos 5s gives out more sound and more power. So I would change that and move the Era 300s with the Sonos sequencer app in the front, so I can get a wider stage from the front with the Era 300s. But since most of you guys have the Era 300s and you love them, so I chose to have the test this way instead. So Era 300s in the back as surrounds, the OG ARC in the front, and then we got 2 Sub Gen 3s. Man, those Sub Gen 3s are mind-blowing. I don't know how Sonos managed to have such an amazing sub and such an amazing bass with their sub. I just get mind blown every time I'm watching a movie, or every time I try them out, they just blow my mind. So as you can see, we didn't split it up. We used a scene with speech and dialogue, and then straight into the action scene within the same scene. So, and as you can see, the speeches and dialogues sounds amazing still with OG ARC, and with the whole setup, nothing has pretty much changed with the volumes coming from the front. It still sounds amazing. Now I decreased the bass a little bit in the equalizer, so we can get a little bit clearer sound with the speeches and dialogues going on. So we're gonna do the same with the ARC Ultra now. We're gonna set that up, and then we're gonna pretty much talk about how I felt, because I've used the ARC Ultra for the past, it's almost been a week since I got them, and I've been using them I've been using the ARC Ultra with Era 300s and 2 subs, watching a couple of movies for the past week. So I've already done a lot of tests with it, so I'm gonna talk about that in the end of the video and how I feel about it and if I'm gonna keep it or not. So let's do the first test. Let's do the test first with the ARC Ultra with the whole setup. Let's go. So guys, we are set up with the ARC Ultra. Let me just show you guys that the setup is ARC Ultra, Era 300s and 2 subs, and the settings that we're gonna use is pretty much the same that we used in the OG ARC. So bass is just gonna be on +2, treble a little bit harder, so we can see what the biggest difference is between these two as well with the setup. We got +7 on TV level, +7 on music level, sub level is gonna be on +2, and height level is gonna be on +7. And then we got speech enhancement. We're gonna switch between, we're gonna start at high, and then we're gonna go down a little bit to medium and see. The max, I couldn't really see any difference between the max and the high, so high is pretty much where we're gonna go and see. And we're gonna see how much of a difference high makes in the whole surround setup, because usually it tends to lower down the surround speakers a little bit when you go higher with the speech enhancement. And especially if you go with speech enhancement with the Apple TV, you guys probably have seen the test that I did with the speech enhancements and that I got on the Apple TV as well. It lowered down the surround speakers a little bit. It lowered down the subs a little bit to just enhance what's coming from the speeches and dialogues coming from the front. So we're gonna switch between that as well during the action scenes. We can see if that makes any difference with the action stuff that's going on. So yeah, that's gonna be the settings. Let's go and do the test. Yay.
Hear me, Zoran, for fate has brought us together again. Some call me Stonebringer, Shield Maiden, the Valkyrie of the Northern Seas. My name is Ursa, daughter of Einar.
Who?
Ursa, daughter of...
You look like a Viking washerwoman. These floors could use a scrubbing.
Silence! My father, Einar, was the Earl of Ladoga.
I remember now. Einar and you. Oh, you were a lovely little one. It appears your cowardice has ruined your looks.
You are the coward!
You killed your own father. Any decent Greenwich child would have fought me even if it meant death. You were so afraid. You still are. Fear is etched on your face. Your father must have been ashamed to have such a weak and disgusting...
and that was the Arc Ultra with the whole setup with Era 300s and 2 subs. Now, like I said, I've been trying this setup out for the past few days. I've been watching a lot of movies, or a couple of movies, a couple of TV shows, to really see what the Arc Ultra is all about. And let me just be clear about something, okay? I totally understand people that are going into the Sonos ecosystem and buying their first soundbar if they're asking me which soundbar they should go for. As if for now, these two soundbars on Sonos webpage are pretty much the same price. I think it's around $100 difference between the Arc, the OG Arc, and the Arc Ultra. And if you're asking me, should I go for the Arc Ultra or the OG Arc? Go for the Arc Ultra. It will be better future-proof for you to just go with Arc Ultra right now than going and buying yourself an old Arc in 2025. So between that, if you just get into that Sonos ecosystem, if you're asking me between these two, I would 100% tell you guys to go buy the Arc Ultra, because if you're buying stuff out of Facebook Market, there are like I don't know if you watched my earlier videos from last year, I told you guys that Sonos pushed out a firmware update a couple of years ago that messed up the whole Sonos Arc thing with that low volume issues. And if you're buying stuff from Facebook Market, please keep in mind that some old Arcs still have that issue. So if you go buy yourself a second-hand Arc, know that there are some old Arcs that will not sound good when you try them out. Or they will sound good at higher volumes, but at low volumes, you will have issues with it. So keep that in mind. So for me, I would say if you're just getting into that Sonos ecosystem, go with the Arc Ultra. And like I said, if you can get your hands on, or if Sonos is giving you 30% discount right now, go with the Arc Ultra, buy yourself that with the setup of the Arc Ultra and a sub Gen 4 with that 30% discount. So, but let me also say that if you had that low volume issues that I was talking about, I totally understand you guys as well, that you went for the Arc Ultra and you called that an upgrade, because I can't really say that I have had any of that issues with my Arc, the OG Arc that I have, and I'm glad that I didn't have it, because my Arc is still giving out good speeches and dialogues, as you can see in these tests. And for me, I feel like I'm just wasting my money on getting something that's giving me not that much wow effect when I'm switching between these two. Like if it would have given me at least 50% better sound, bass, better heights, or whatever it is that Sonos talked so much about between these two soundbars, I would have said yes. The Arc Ultra is definitely an upgrade, but for me, as you can see, now with the test that I've done, I don't really feel the need to really go for the Arc Ultra, and I feel like the only reason why I would go for the Arc Ultra and keep it is because most of you guys that are watching my channel want to know what the Arc Ultra stands when I'm testing out different other soundbars in the future. So that would be the only reason, but I don't really see myself even keeping it for that reason, because as you can see, when you don't have any sound problems with the OG Arc still sounds pretty much the same as the Arc Ultra. Like if you would have if you would have been here sitting where I'm sitting and trying out both soundbars side by side, you would have said exactly the same. Yeah, I totally understand you guys that went for the Arc Ultra if you had issues with your old Arc. But I'm also gonna keep on testing the Arc Ultra a little bit for the next couple of days. I'm gonna watch some movies and some other TV shows to really see. So in the end, if I return it, I'm gonna tell you guys that, and if I keep it, you're gonna probably see it more on this channel. So yeah guys, that's gonna be it for the Arc Ultra test. And I'm gonna order, I think it's gonna be the Marshall Heston 120. That's gonna be the next soundbar that we're gonna compare, and we're gonna compare it to either the Arc Ultra or the OG Arc on this channel. So stay tuned for that. Probably in next week or something it's gonna be delivered. So we're gonna try out the Marshall, like I said, is gonna be the next setup. And I think the JBL Bar 1300 MK2 is gonna be the next, hopefully, if it's been released by the end of the Marshall test that I'm gonna do. So, but the Marshall, keep in mind that the Marshall soundbar only has the soundbar and the sub, so they don't have any surround speakers, which I think is a bummer. I hope they make some surround speakers for their setup as well. So yeah, that's gonna be just a test of, let's say, an ARC with the Subgen 3 versus the Marshall soundbar Heston 120 and their sub. So yes, what do you guys think about the ARC Ultra so far? That those of you that have had it for almost a year now, are you really satisfied? Are you really seeing it as an upgrade versus the old ARC? And did you have the low volume issues that made you go for the ARC Ultra or not? I would really like to know what you guys think about it. So comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next one. Bye.